Teketeke Nation Live brings to you
Inawezekana.
Inawezekana.
Good morning, in the evening. This is Teketeke Nation Live, the #1 channel voicing the voiceless. And the program on air is Inawezekana. And we are doing this program to be able to discuss different ways young people in our country, in East Africa and Africa, can be able to turn their skills into opportunities and money. There is a huge challenge in Africa that job opportunities are very scarce. Unapata jobs zimekuwa ngumu, there are many young graduates, unapata hawa vijana wako hapa nje kwa street iko extremely unfair and harsh. So there are many people who graduate from middle level colleges and from university, kazi haziko. And we use this opportunity to discuss different business opportunities that young people badala waketi chini kungoja what government will provide in terms of jobs, wanaweza tap into, waweze ku create their own job opportunities, na even badala ya kungoja kukuwa employed, they can now still employ other young people. And today I have a guest ambaye tumetoka mbali. It's a long story. Allow me to introduce the guy, and then from there tunaanza kupiga teketeke story to understand ya kwamba how has he been able to convert his skill into an opportunity and hopefully into money as well. Good evening, bro.
Good evening.
Uko salama?
Niko salama. Labda wewe hapa.
Niko fit, nashukuru.
Yes.
Wakenya wambie unaitwa nani ndugu yangu?
Kwa Kenya wote, my name is Lawrence Luther Inzofu. I'm here as an engineer who is the founder and CEO of Inzofu Maher Engineering Limited. It is a construction company, a company that is founded on integrity, and also we are founded on trust. So we construct buildings for people, and we do the associated works which are very important, which I think we want to build communities in terms of sustainable housing, and also structures which are very, very important. Yes.
Just to check, you say you're young, you know, when you say CEO na stuka kidogo, naanza kushindwa, how do I even manage this? So, for how long have you been running your own company?
This company, it is something which has been thought about for quite a while. While I was in undergraduate, that was in 2016, when I was just clearing.
So that's when the idea you were still
came.
thinking through?
Yeah, the thinking through has been quite a while. And when people see what is coming out, I think it is a product of a continuous and deliberate process. Yeah, and when I got the resources into place, that is when I showed up. Yeah.
So the company is fully registered, paperwork, kila kitu iko?
All the paperwork is registered with the relevant authorities, the National Construction Authority, the Engineers Board of Kenya. We have the registration of businesses. Yeah, for that, the documentation is all right.
So why was it important for you to register? Because ungeanza tu business mwitu. Unaanza tu kujenga? Because there are many guys who are doing this informally. Why did you have to go the extra mile and have your paperwork properly done?
I think as a professional trained and also a practicing person, it was important that I do register the business, because the legitimacy right now, even if it is not being followed up by the NCA, we have the integrity part as an organization. So when you do something, you don't want to have some questions later. So it is something that I thought about, getting the documentation in place, so that once you are done with something, you don't have any worries that will be followed up.
So I ask you this because there are many young people I know who are doing business,
Yes.
lakini hawataki kuregister. Wanafanya tu vitu kienyeji. They could be losing out on some business.
Kienyeji part may not take you so far, because when you're looking at the sustainability part of it, you may do it maybe for a year or two, and then things catch up with you.
Yeah.
But somebody who has built a brand will always get from different faces. The clients will play a better role. They will be mentioning that this is Nzofu Engineering Limited. And so from that point of view, I think it is for sustainability.
Oh, okay.
It is not a one season show and then you are off. Yes.
So to our viewers, just these are not my words from him, that it's important for you as a young person, if you want to get into business, it's important for you to ensure you are fully registered. You might want to do kienyeji stuff, but kienyeji things are not sustainable. You might survive for a year or so, but then they will limit you in terms of doing business. So if you're out there, you want to do business, register it formally. Kwa tuna all paperwork required, itakupatia a lot of easiness within the business world. Utapata clients will easily trust you. Itakuwa easy for you to share your paperwork with the clients. Na pia wase wanaona amesema the word legitimacy. Hiyo ndio tumesema.
Exactly.
Unajua watu engineering ni very complicated. And please go to our YouTube channel, it's Teketeke Nation Live, and subscribe. YouTube channel Teketeke Nation Live, and subscribe. You mentioned something about you took time thinking about this idea.
That is true.
So first of all,
yes,
why did you start thinking about forming your own company and not going into employment, where most of the young people would want to go to?
I think employment is a good thing. It will give you the starting capital. You will get the networks you may require in a way or two. When you are also in employment, you may get a few details about what is required in the industry. Yeah, you can pick all those details and then you piece them together. But the thinking about employment is something I will always refer to as a sustainable thing. You're thinking about long term. Yeah, what position do you want to occupy in the society at the end of the day? Myself as a self-employed person, I have the capacity to create a ripple effect to others. Yeah, you are able to employ a son or so.
So you at the moment you're already giving jobs to other people.
Exactly.
Wewe ni serikali kivyako bwana. Unakimbizana hivi na serikali ya Uhuru.
Yeah, tunakimbizana kidogo, but the important thing is that when you're doing something, for example, when you've taken up a contract on building a client house, you need to have somebody who will do the digging or the trenching, the preparation of the foundation. That is a job already you've given somebody, maybe a 2-day or 3-day. And then we have these masons who are doing the brickwork or the block work. So they are able to take care of some building. If it is, for example, a masonette, it may take a month or two. So you are giving somebody a full day, full-time employment for maybe 30 days.
Oh, this is good. This is good.
Yeah, so I think when you've given that kind of employment to somebody, he's able to take care of his family.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, the daughter or the son is able to go to school. Maybe the cousins are able to attend college. Yeah, so I think when you are in a position to provide for something, the ripple effect will always go down the line. Yes.
This is good. How do you go to sleep feeling, knowing that as young as you are providing job opportunities for other people to provide for their families? How does that make you feel? President-ish. How do you feel?
My thinking is that we are not in a competition.
Yeah.
And so if we are able to extend a hand to your neighbor, I think that is the best noble thing you can do.
Sure.
When you have a person who is either directly or indirectly dependent on you, it gives you a sense of satisfaction. And the comfort you get when you going to rest, I think it is incredible.
Okay.
Yes.
Asante. So to our viewers, I gather that job opportunities are good. It's good to be employed. Kwa sababu itakupatia ile capital for you to think out of the box and think about long term. So the advantage of starting your own venture, like what he's doing, is that kama angekuwa ameandikwa job, nilo chance yake ako nayo moja kwenda yuko hiyo office apige job and then arudi home. But now with what he's doing at the moment, he's able to provide job opportunities for other people. And this helps because one, you are your own boss. And as you do that also, kuna watu wengine ambao wanaamka asubuhi wakijua kwamba whatever idea ambayo ako nayo ina enable wao pia put bread on their table. And it is very very comforting. Unakaa unafilia kwamba I haven't done everything, but at least there is someone ambaye nimemprovide a chance pia yeye to put a meal on the table. Please, I had already mentioned, go to our YouTube channel. It's Teketeke Nation Live, and subscribe. We have got a lot of other discussions like this one. Nenda pale Teketeke Nation Live and subscribe. My brother.
Yes.
Two things. How did you get capital to kickstart your business idea? Because capital is a big beast. Many people complain, niko na idea but sijui nitaanza aje because sina capital. Who gave you the money?
I think capital will always fall into place. Sometimes we talk about it as motivational speakers. When I started my company, I was just doing these things from the house. I started my Facebook page, my YouTube channel, Instagram. Started the advertisement.
From your house?
Yes. I think doing a text doesn't require a lot of capital.
It doesn't.
So I started by just piecing together, creating some files on PowerPoint, on Excel, some few Photoshops here and there. I started, this is my potential. I'm an engineer. I can do the construction. I can do the groundwork in terms of the project implementation. Yeah. And prior to that, I can also do the consultancy. So that when you need a bungalow, we can do these dimensions here and there. That was the starting point. So the first capital actually came from the client. Yeah.
So we umeadvertise vitu?
Yes.
Client venye anakupatia job?
Yes.
Akilipa deposit hiyo ndio capital yako kuanza.
Exactly. So it is not like maybe you will go to the bank to start begging.
Pay 10 million.
It's idea 10 million, and you see you don't have the capacity to get that money. Yeah. So a client who has trusted my job will extend his offer. He will say that I have a bungalow. I have a budget of about 4 million. Yeah. This 4 million, what will be the BOQ? You start from there. So you list down the list of items, what he or she will requires for that bungalow. Maybe the BOQ goes to 2.5 million. Yeah. So the 1.5, unamwambia this is like 30% or 40% of the total cost.
Akikupa unaanzia job.
Yes. So maybe he will extend to you some kind of advance payment. Maybe if it is a quarter or 40% of the money, and then that will be the starting point. So it will give you the operational cost, like maybe transport from here to his site, and then starting from there, that is how you will.
Yes, so it's just a matter of young people being a bit more creative, using what they have.
Yes.
Kwa sababu you see the people, badala set up YouTube channel, a set up Facebook page, yana ngoja pate pesa. Yet akona some bundles, na some airtime, they can do some text and kickstart marketing what they want, the idea, wakingoja client akuje, pick resources and then proceed.
Yeah, my thinking is, you see, where I come from, they say, industrially, you will rain zoha.
Yes.
That loosely translated, it means that the stick which is closest to you is the one that you will use to defend yourself. So many people are always online, but now transforming that being online to market potential is what the problems comes in. Being online, you may be looking for jobs. It is a good thing. But if, for example, you came from a polytechnic and then you start advertising that I'm a very good plumber, I think...
online, you can get jobs there.
You can get jobs there. And then the consistency part of it is also important.
So consistency is key.
Yeah. Because people will want to look at and be associated with the people who are consistent. You advertise today, and then the next time we are seeing your post is next month. That kind of gap is not very important. So In summary, what I'm meaning is that the little resources you have, maybe like say a good smartphone,
use that.
use
Start with
that.
that.
If you have a laptop, do some editing here and there, because before you start, you break even, or before you get the resources enough to employ somebody else, you need to be in a position to do most of the things.
Yeah, sure. Before vitu zako zipik na uanze kupiga job sasa na watu wengine.
Exactly. So just utilize the resources you have, the small laptop or tablet or the small smartphone you have. The photos may be blurred, maybe because
But
it is a low budget. But with the time when you get a client, you'll always go to the next level. Yeah, so my thinking is there is always something you can do, even with the smaller resources you have. Yeah, it is never bad to start a stretch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So to our viewers, what our guest is saying is that at times tuko na some resources, sio zote, but we have something. Uko na your own smartphone, you have some ka laptop ni kamze, but you have it. So badala ya kuketi chini na ungoja kwamba you want to amass all the resources, unataka budget ya 10 million, you want a MacBook, you want all these things, start with what you have. The photos may not be of high quality, but start. The moment umeanza, money will come along the way, and then you can improve on the gadgets you have, so that uanze kupiga job ambayo iko more clearer, better quality. But wherever you are, uko na idea, start. And then, in terms of online marketing, he says that we need to be consistent. Some of us out here, we are doing businesses online. Uko Instagram, uko Facebook, uko YouTube, and different other platforms. Be consistent. Wacha kuuza stuff, umeweka leo. Tena unakaa 3 months unaweka. Una update what you want to sell na feelings. Ensure you become very consistent, because clients out there want to associate with the people who are consistent and know what they're doing. Please, tafadhali, get to our YouTube channel. It's Teketeke Nation Live, and subscribe. And this program is being sponsored by Teketeke Courier Solutions. If you are in Nairobi, uko Nairobi, along any of the busy roads in Nairobi, Wayaki Way, Mombasa Road, kwanza Mombasa Road, wachana nayo, Thika Highway, Jogoo Road, and you have a parcel to deliver, do not struggle. Don't suffer alone. In silence, call Teketeke Courier Solutions. They will pick your parcel and deliver it at an affordable rate. Number ya Teketeke Courier Solutions inakimbia pale chini ya screen. Call them for any delivery you want to do in Nairobi. My brother.
Yes.
You've mentioned about doing your marketing online and being consistent. How do you get business at the moment? Because since you started marketing your stuff online,
yes,
have you been getting business?
Yes. All my clients have gotten them from online.
Hii tu Facebook hapa unapata majob?
Exactly. And you see, your client may not be a person who is your neighbor, for example. Yeah? Maybe your neighbor has already built.
Yeah.
So you need to go extra mile
Yeah.
to get that somebody who is miles away from
So
you.
jobs ziko hapa online unapata?
Just online. Yeah.
But young people are using Facebook, Instagram kupost pictures za umepiga luku na kutafuta madem kitu kama hiyo.
Maybe.
Why are you different?
Maybe it serves them. But yeah. When you're doing something, I think there are always interests you want to achieve. All my clients have gotten them from online. You get a narration that I am doing this plumbing and so and so. I'm doing the electrical connection. I'm doing the welding works, and then somebody will be interested in your services. He will ask you, are you able to travel from here to maybe Kampala, for example?
Teketeke umeenda?
Yes. So it is a matter of casting your net to the widest space you can. Yeah, there is always fish maybe at the end of the
day. Pale mwisho kuna fish na wewe umefocus hapa.
Exactly.
So guys, the jobs ziko online bana. Huyu jamaa anapata pesa online na wewe uko hapo uko kwa Facebook unafanya mzaa na uundi pesa, unalalamika serikali haikusaidii. There is money online because he says all his business opportunities ambazo amefanya na anajenga kujenga, he has gotten them from online adverts that he has been doing. Just to get this. Yes. Umemention unajenga. What do you mean? Unajenga kuna mafundi tofauti So these field engineers talk to me like a layman, no?
Yes.
Nikikwambia nataka kujenga nyumba. What are you able to do? Ni wapi unaniachia?
Building a house starts way before you get to the ground. We have now the authorities demanding that you get the licenses, the registrations that this is a development in this area. So when you give us the opportunity to do that, we start from getting the licenses, the NEMA.
So you help the client to get the licenses?
Yes.
So the client is comfortable at home?
Yes.
You sort that out?
Yes.
And so was a job. Because you see, going to NEMA offices, these other places can enjoy, I think. It's very complicated.
Yeah, it is complicated, but we are equal to the task. So what we do from the morning, that is exactly like we get the licenses from the different offices. Yeah. And alongside that, we do the designs of the houses, those that are going to get the approvals. So when we do the designs, we discuss with you as a client.
So the design, it's the drawing now?
Yes.
So nyumba mmentafutia licenses mmeleta.
Yes.
Mnachora.
Yes.
Eh.
Tumeichora. We can do the hand drafting, or now most recently we use computers. So we get the ideas from you, for example, and then we suggest to you what we have in our catalog, for example. So when you are satisfied as a client,
This a drawing to sasa nataka.
yeah, this is the kind of house I need, and this is the kind of development I will need at the end of the day. So we go ahead now to do the approvals. So once we get the approvals from the county, the NEMA, the NCA number, the what have you, the engineer and the architect in charge have to have the registration from the relevant bodies. So we get to the site. We start from the groundbreaking, the foundations. At the end of the period, we'll be handing over the key to you.
So the key mnanipatia mmejenga, mnapiga ma roofing, ma paint, ma plumbing.
Yes.
Yote mnafanya, ma welding.
So from the groundwork, we do the foundations. Our guys, the geotechnical engineer will be right there. Geotechnical is a branch of civil engineering that will help to study the foundations of that area. So that at the end of the day, when we are finished with the works, we don't have some disaster in waiting.
Oh, hizi nyumba zinaangukaga hizi.
Yeah, exactly. So once he has studied the foundations of the area, blah blah, looking at every detail on the ground, he will establish that this is the amount of load that can be held by that soil. So we start now the development. We do the brickwork, we go to roofing. Yeah, we have our welding team. The welding team is able to do for you the design doors and the windows. So at the end of the day, we have the carpenters, the fitters. Yeah, so we have a whole team.
So it's like a supermarket or a construction supermarket.
You'll get everything under one roof. And it is not like a crowding of resources to one person. If you are a painter, you are just specialized for that.
Also, you have a large team,
Yes.
but then kuna specialties.
Yes. Yeah.
But then how are you managing this other young person?
I think teamwork is very important when you want to implement any project. Unless you do that, you'll always have troubles with your client. And one most important thing is that when you're looking at the product at the end of the day, yeah, you need to get a person specialized for that kind of job. So you cannot bring somebody who has just rumors about something to do a job. For example, if it is electrical systems, you need to get somebody who is certified. Yeah, a person who knows the job.
Also, you carry out due diligence on the guys you work with kwa hizo vitu zote, unishiwa ko.
And these are people who are committed to doing a job, a very clean job. So you cannot just pick somebody from the streets, come do this.
Wewe unakana kama unafanya plumbing come.
Yeah. That kind of thing will always mess you up. Because when we started the show, we talked about sustainability.
Sure.
Yeah. And you see, the first client is the one who will give you maybe client 10 or client 20.
Referrals.
Yeah. So when you're doing some kind of job, like the paint work, you don't want to come here tomorrow and see the peeling off. Yeah.
So because construction is very capital intensive,
Yes.
lazima unisho umepiga job safi.
Exactly. When you're looking at a client's investment, this is money he or she has been earning over a period of time.
Sure.
And when he or she entrusts you with the money, that means that among other competitors, you are offered that job. And so you don't want to fail the client. So you come in a position of trust, a position of reliability, so that when the client looks at the job at the end of the day, he or she will want to say, thank you so much for the job well done.
Hallelujah. Yes. You've talked about competition. How are you dealing with the competition? Because I think the industry is very competitive.
Yes.
So how are you dealing with competition?
Competition will always be there. Even when you want to sleep, you can sleep and somebody can compete against you.
Even to die.
There are people always competing in every field. But the most important thing is that in an ecosystem, there's always something you can do in the chain. And when you are true to your job, you will always find some jobs which are waiting for you. For example, when you are a reliable person, somebody can send you maybe 2 million to develop his
and he's sure sina wasiwasi ati nitakuona unapiga sherehe.
And then you are consistent on that side, so that at the end of the day, the product the client had in mind when you are discussing with him as a contractor or an engineer, it is what you will deliver.
Because the guys and I'll tell you this from the village. I have like my relative, and he was staying I think in South Africa. So alikuwa anatuma do Kenya ajengewe kitu. So I think it took like 3 or so years before kuje.
Yes.
Alipokuja he was shocked. Kitu alipata kwa ground iko tofauti na ile alikuwa ametaka.
And you see now, from that kind of analogy, you will lose business.
Sure.
At the end of the day, there will be reviews. So this is 0 star. Meaning that you cannot deliver anything. This is 1 star. He can try, but he's not.
Bado hajaiva huyu.
So, in as much as you may have the skill to do something, at the end of the day, you need to also get a very good spot in terms of this is my client.
So character is important.
Very important. And when you are building your brand, one of the most important things is trust. Because when I tell you the truth today, it will not change any shade, even if you communicate 10 years later.
Yeah, sure.
So the client I'm working with today may want to make a development maybe 5 years later.
And he remembers
that
this guy,
these kinds of services I received from a certain company. And the people in that company are very courteous, are very trustworthy, are very reliable. So what a client always wants is the value for the money.
Value for money.
Yes.
It's very important.
I've given you 1 shilling. Can you deliver 1 shilling? So that is the statistic, and the mathematics you always need to depend on when you are delivering.
So guys, what our guest is saying that at times unaweza kuwa very skilled, but skill alone is not enough. Lazima uenishwe kwamba skill inaambatana with good character, because your customers must trust you, and trust si kitu ambacho job ni fiti, but ulitumiwa some money ukaenda kufanya kazi ukapata ulifanya a short job ambayo haiko kwa fiti, the client hayuko around kukumonitor. Ensure job yako ni safi, because job ndita kusell. Skill ni fiti, but it combined with good character, so that uweze ku ensure sustain job zako moving forward. Na I mentioned on the power of referrals ndio zina make vitu zina happen hapa nje. So as a young person, when you get into business, you need to remember that ile job unapata ya kwanza, ya pili, ya tatu, zipige job safi. Do your best. kama client amecommit 10 shillings, deliver work ambayo iko worth 10 shillings, so that huyo mtu in future ako comfortable kukurefer, or akiwa with another assignment atakuwa so comfortable to call you back because will deliver value for money. Kuna hii aspect ya wase young.
Yes.
Wako hapa nje wanalia jobs hakuna ni nini, wako na papers, some are actually trained engineers like you are.
Yes.
What do you think is really stopping them from developing their own ideas and running with them?
Sometimes you may not be in a position to speak on behalf of somebody unless you have a very candid discussion with him. Yeah, but our society is formed in such a way that you need to do something. And one of the things you can do is be idle. Yeah? So, if you decide that you will do it with a lot of perfection,
but
but the other aspect is that you can always choose now to be useful to the society. You can provide a service. Like myself, this week ending today, I've been doing some welding in Muranga.
I've seen your work online.
Yeah. So welding, maybe somebody will look at it as it is a not very good.
But you're doing it yourself, because in your photos on Instagram,
yes,
I saw you doing it.
Yeah, welding was one of the basic units in mechanical engineering. And before you graduate, you need to be very good in terms of producing something.
So mwenyewe unachoma mlango, unachoma ina fiti unaweka.
Yeah, it is a simple thing.
Hey, engineers are complex people.
Yeah. Yeah, because at the end of the day, when you are finishing an engineering course in Kenya, you've done about 5 units. And among the core units are practical. Yeah, you need to go to the workshop, welding shop. Yeah,
because engineering is very hands-on.
Yeah, develop something, maybe in machine works. Develop something, maybe in mason work. So at the end of the day, you getting out of the university with some skill. So what I was saying, like out of the 85 units, you may choose to utilize maybe 1 unit only.
Just one? No.
And maybe part of that unit, and not the whole of it. So if, for example, welding was a good practical lesson for you, you can go maybe borrow some tools here and there, demonstrate that you can do for somebody this kind of job. And when you advertise it, the next client will always come in. And you'll say, are you able to do this? I saw this fabrication in the United States, or I saw this at the airport when I was traveling. And then that is how you will get your job. Something else is, for example, when you are a young person and you've gone to college, you are better placed than any other person. Because, for example, if you did a diploma, maybe you did 40 units. Out of the 40 units, you can utilize just one.
Just one to do something?
Yes. If it is, for example, computing, just to do some codes here and there, and then you can sell a product. So there's always something somebody can do. Yeah. But one of them is just being idle.
So to our viewers, young people out there, our guest says that there are many things you can choose to do. And one of them is you choosing to be idle. The only problem with that is that nobody will pay you for being idle. But again, he says that kuna opportunities that you can think through. Kuna many courses umefanya pale kole, umefanya pale kampo, umefanya wapi. Select something ambayo ili interest. And out of 85 units, moja tu ana focus na kwamba nataka kupiga welding safi. And you know what? Unaweza focus hapo na upate kwamba your daily bread inapatikana pale, life inakuwa fiti na unasonga mbele. What are we saying? Many of us tuko hapa nje, government haijatupatia chance ya kupata kazi kwa ministry, kwa hizi parastatals in different public organizations, hatujapata job pale. Should we sit being idle and wait until kazi ya serikali ikuje? The answer of course is no. using the knowledge umepata pale shule. Be a bit more creative. If you can't think of an idea, come to us at Teketeke Nation Live. We are happy to have a sit down with you, listen to you, and help you. Just I think through what you want to do and come up with an idea ambayo itakusaidia wewe to set up some business venture, and how are we able to turn your idea into money. We have been doing business hapa na pale kidogo kidogo, and we are able to sit down with you tukusikize vizuri and just help you to turn zile vitu unafikiria mingi zinaku confuse. We are able to think through with you and just help you navigate through na come up with a business idea that hapa kwetu, hapa Kenya, hapa East Africa, and even in Africa inaweza kuwa idea ambayo inaweza kukupatia uradi fulani upate pesa zako. My brother,
yes,
looking at you, age yako bado wewe bado ni young. Sasa nini inakusukuma ufanye tu bidii running a business? Ni nini unapiga sherehe tu online? Unajua pia hapa nje tu mademu wa kutambue wajue wewe ni nani, and then once you grow up you do business.
I think people have different cycles, and you choose what part of the chain you can play. As a young person, I think one of the most important thing is to use my prime age in developing communities. In my first employment, when I was employed, just about for 2 years, what we were doing is giving hope in societies. You go into a community, train youth on some skill. For example, road construction, which I previously was doing.
So mmejenga barabara mbaya?
Yeah, several. The rural Kenya and the rural Uganda and parts of Ethiopia, we've done them very well. So I think at my age, it is prime age. When I have all the energy, I can travel. When you give me a call, I can travel maybe to Addis.
Anytime umekuja.
I can travel to Kampala. I can travel maybe when I'm in Nairobi to any other place.
Lamu, Kakamega, wapi Teketeke.
Yeah. And so my target is to utilize my prime time at least to give something to the community. And giving that something to the community is giving a sustainable construction, building communities, providing them with water. I think that will be a very good record in my lifetime. Yes.
So young people out there, wenye mnapiga sherehe, amesema prime time ni sahi. The prime time yako unatumia kufanya nini? For him, he wants to make a name for himself, build communities, and ensure kwamba story yake ina change na kutouch lives out there. What are you doing with your prime time? Do we have any comments online? We can pick some comments online. Do you got any comments online?
Comments.
Atuna? Okay. Kindly on a YouTube channel, please give us, ask questions. Huyu jamani engineer, muulize kwa nini anajengeka kaburi, ask questions. Ask him, unaweza kuna prepare your own kaburi mapema before uende ujue dimensions ni nini. So send us questions, send us any comments you might have, and our guest here would be in a position to answer na kupatie solutions kwa issues ambazo uko nazo. He's a young man, anapiga biashara, alikuwa employed kidogo akatafuta pesa kidogo akaingia kwa biashara zake mwenyewe. Now he's running a construction company, anapiga job, anaingia Ethiopia, anaingia Uganda, hapa Kenya anatandika. And this guy is a guy to watch. Now, watu wako hapa wengi sana ambao wanajenga.
Yes.
Na mention something about sustainable construction. Many people that I've interacted with, watu wengi utaka kujenga wakiwa mostly mtu ana move towards retirement, ama ni savings, ama ni pesa loan.
Yes.
How do you come in kuensure how watu wanapata housing, but pia kama ni pesa mtu ilikuwa ni pesa ya retirement, unaweza jenga nyumba unajua umesota paka ukufe hata. How do you come in to support and work through with the clients kuensure kwamba solutions ambazo una provide, one, ziko sustainable vile umesema, and two, ziko pocket friendly, because construction is very expensive. Yes.
One of the things we provide in our company is consultancy on all building and construction services. You may not want to build with us, but part of the services you want from us is just consultancy services. You want to think with us that I want to establish this kind of structure. How am I going to do that? I've been online most of the time, and you freely give some information. Yeah. So somebody will ask, with my 20,000,
What can I do?
what can I do? I always say there are part of the materials in construction which are not perishable. Cement is perishable, for example.
Cement na maji, ndio.
Not really. For example, in construction, cement starts losing its strength after 3 months.
Okay.
From the
So
time
si
of
kitu unaweza
construction.
nunua ukisema ati nitajenga in 3 years nimenunua cement yangu.
No. At the end of the day, you will only have some powder. So it will not serve the purpose of cement. Yeah. So we think along with the client and tell him if you have some security in your compound, you can create a store. This store, please buy things like iron sheets, the roofing nails, because sometimes when, for example, other competitors, they will not tell you that you need this amount of nails.
Sure.
So they will look at the big things, the timber, the water.
Kwanza hiyo naye ni mbaya. Unafika wewe nyumba una plan 2 million. Unafika mahali hawai kuquote misumari, hakuquote nini.
Exactly. And you see the spillover budget may go to hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So that spillover budget, that budget you needed to pay the labor. So it reaches a point you now start having friction with your labor. So when the laborers are not paid, you know the kind of job they will be doing. Somebody will be snagging on the job. If it is plumbing system, he just fixes things. Just
Majis na nasumbua.
So at the end of the day, that structure is not sustainable in as much as you invested in it. What we tell the clients, if even with your limited budgets, start by buying the materials which are not perishable. Some of the materials, get the stones, get some good stuff for them, get the iron sheets, get the nails, get some bits. There are always so much you can do before you now go to the actual work.
Oh, sure. So by the time someone now wants to start construction, kuna vitu mingi ameshaleta ziko with him.
Yeah, they already
hata feel the burden sana.
So with your 20,000 or 50,000, for example, you can save that money in 1.5 years. That is 15, 16 months. And then you have your structure started.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because the most important thing on a structure is to have it to the roof. These other finishes can come.
Okay, pole.
Yeah, once that is done, when you do the walling alone, the effects of weather here and there, you will get a very weak structure.
Oh, okay.
And then at the end of the day, you may lose, and start the investment afresh.
Oh, sure. So what are some of the challenges that you face on a day-to-day within the industry?
Challenges will always be there, but most of the time I choose to tell the story of positivity. So sometimes if I start complaining here, I'll take the whole day and even write a book about the challenges.
Ziko kibao.
There are so many. But the positive thing about it is at the end of the day, you have some product you have developed for a client and is so appreciative about it. Any community will have all those challenges.
But just finding a way on how to
find
navigate.
a way, you will always get some solution. If you choose to do the complaints, you may not move as a company.
So, and people are wondering, kwa hii field vile iko hivi, ujenzi ni nini, this stuff. Do you guys make money kwa hii space?
There's money. There's money in construction. The money comes in as a provision of a good service. if, for example, I want to deliver something like this mic, when I was doing, for example, now the manufacturing units, this mic will sell at a price myself will determine.
Yeah, sure.
And the determining thing is not myself, but the quality.
The quality of the mic.
Yes. So there are discussions that with the 800,000, you can put up a very nice 3-bedroom house.
Nimesikiaga hivyo nikafikiria mimi hata in fact I was thinking nitafuta 800,000 nipatie wewe. Nikaambia nataka iko hapa.
Sometimes as an engineer I look at the details. Yeah. Maybe you could be having fare for matatu and you want to use a chopper. Yeah. So at the end of the day, we need to discuss the details. You as a client, tell me what you need at the end of the day. I'll tell you, with this kind of product you have in mind, this is the value according to it. So at the end of the day, a bungalow, for example, may cost 800,000. Somebody will do that. Then a bungalow I will do, for example, will cost 5.5 million. Yeah.
What's
the difference is now the quality.
The difference is in the quality.
Yeah. So somebody will come here with very good some labor persons who have just maybe studied on the Mujengo. They'll come. They say, I know the job. Yeah. But you see, there's always an art part of the construction industry. So the way somebody will do the painting, the second person when he comes, there's always a difference.
Sure.
And you need to reward that kind of labor. Yeah. So for a quality job, you will have a very quality product. But when you source for very cheap labor, you as a client will go on clicking. For example, there's a lot of dissatisfaction.
Cheap is expensive.
Very expensive. So at the end of the day, you will say, I don't want this product. So you will call in another team.
Sure. You wasted the dough.
Yeah. That money is already wasted. You will never recover it. Yeah. And then you call in another team. You are starting afresh. So at the end of the day, the 800,000 bungalow, for example, will now switch to maybe 5 million, for example. Yeah, because these are repairs. The plumbing work was not properly done.
Messy, you need to put in more money.
The electrical works was not properly done. You got some wires which are always melting. Yeah.
Oh, why ukienda kuchemsha maji inachemuka, why inachemuka kuliko maji?
Yeah. So what you will see is the after effects.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Something is always happening. You need to repair. And you see now, wherever people have done the repairs, there was always the bad image of it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So when we're thinking about a product, we always discuss with the client that this is the value associated with the product, kind of product we want. Yeah. If he says this is too expensive, sometimes we give him the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. You can. This is an alternative to the product.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. If he insists on that high quality, but the labor charges are a bit miserable, maybe he can look for an alternative person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
knowing your value is very important.
Yes. So your net worth is always very important.
Yeah, sure.
In the field. And sometimes when you see that this job you may not deliver in this kind of circumstances, you better give him the way.
But la uanze kungangana, you are sure I always deliver na hii pesa, ungangane then uharibu jina.
Yes. So holding on to our brand is very important because at the end of the day, I'm an engineer. Yeah, I have some days to live. So when they will be starting to give the reviews for my company, they will be saying that that company gave us very quality job.
Sure.
Yeah, but when you did the contrary, people will everywhere. Yeah. And the bad news will always spread like wildfire.
Yeah, good news in the pole pole, my friend, unashanga.
Yeah, so it is always to keep on the brand and always maintain the quality in the market.
So I wanted to check with you.
Yes.
We mentioned, I'm excited that it's difficult to find engineers.
Yes.
This we must admit. In terms of without really getting to a personal life, but for you to do your undergraduate, did you go to a big like high school somewhere where you got some nice grade and went to university to do engineering, or?
A bit of a story is I grew up in the dark villages then. Yeah, although right now we are the men building the village. Yeah, I went through Mulua Primary School.
The famous Mulua Primary School.
Exactly. It is in the villages of Lunza, Butere sub-county. From Mulua Primary, I scored about 371 marks. Called to some school, Kakamega High, St. Peter's Mumias. Those were the best schools at that time. Unfortunate enough, I didn't manage to go to the national schools. So my daddy helped me to go to a day school.
So you went to a day school?
Yeah, a day school about 4 kilometers away. So we'll go on foot.
Napiga mgumba ya sana.
Yeah, early in the mornings. Yeah. So I started thinking about my life after school, after the 4 years. What will I be? So I started now the discipline of time. Yeah. If I'm to be in school, for example, by 7 a.m., sometimes I will be in school by 4 a.m.
Oh, so you leave home very early?
Very early. So we had a lot of friction with my mother. Yeah.
Oh, she was wondering unatoka mapema aje unaenda kuvuta bangi ama nini?
Why are you leaving the house at 3 a.m.? Yeah.
Was it safe?
Maybe I created my own safety.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a bit safer by that time. Yeah, I'll go to school by 3 a.m., 4 a.m. I'm in school.
Kusoma kula mbuku tu?
Yeah, because at home we didn't have enough paraffin.
Oh yeah, so you want to use the electricity in school?
Electricity in school. So the 4 years went, and at the end of the season, I scored an A-.
So now in the day school you score an A-, and then now you go to do your engineering course?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's possible to just go to a day school in the village and still get to your dream?
Yeah, you can fail anywhere, even in the palaces.
And you can pass also anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, because why I'm asking you this is because there are many young people who keep on crying and lamenting. Oh, sikuenda ile shule nilikuwa nataka, nilikuwa nataka kwenda Alliance sikuenda, mimi sikuenda ile shule fiti. But you are saying you can fail from anywhere.
Yeah, even you can fail in the palaces, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can pass in the darkest of villages. What is needed is that what is the focus at the end of the day? Because we always have the 24 hours.
It doesn't matter whether you're in the palace or in some dark village.
Exactly. So what
is 24 hours?
It will be 24 hours. There is no one who will have the benefit of the day or whichever, the contrary. So being in the village, you have just to focus because there are so many challenges. Challenges in terms of maybe you need to be in school, for example, that early. And then the departure time is also...
Oh yeah, a bit late.
You also need to keep up just to do the homework so that you
don't carry it. And then when the home...
So most times I will reach home at 9 p.m.
Also, umalize homework na ile stima ya chuo, then uende home.
Yeah. So for my 4 years, sometimes we never met with the villagers.
Oh, so what was inspiring you to work that hard?
Maybe to be whom I am today.
Oh.
Yeah, I wanted to be an engineer. When I was joining, I thought about being a mechanical engineer. And then as fate will be, I also switched to civil engineer.
Now.
So I have the 2 degrees, which are very important. I'm able to marry the two and deliver product to the client.
Asante.
Yeah.
There are many young people who are young kids at Mulua Primary. You know, the young men and women, I think now men, at Lunza Secondary, where you went to high school. There are many guys in the village out there, in Pokot, in Western Kenya, in Lamu, your age, hata younger, looking into this camera. Talk to them. how do they become you when they grow up?
One item these people need to identify is what is the area of interest. What do you want to become at your age of maybe 20, 25, 30, and then going forward? People will always want to talk about the challenges, the negativities they have faced, but there's always a beautiful story, even if it is 5%. It is the same analogy of these glasses half empty or half full. Yeah. So people will always want to talk about the half empty. When you have such a kind of thing, I want to become an engineer at 25. It is possible.
So goals.
The goals. Set the goals. Yeah. When the focus is on the sun, when you get to the moon, it is already an achievement.
Yeah, I was
Yeah, yeah, and there's always this beautiful story about the lizard on the Iroko tree.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, when it fell right from the some height,
it thanks itself.
It thanks itself. So you don't wait for people to clap for you. What you need to do is to appreciate yourself, do this thing here yourself, and then once you've achieved your goal, you'll be able to appreciate yourself in a way, which is very important to oneself. Yes.
Sure.
At the end of the day, you will have help other people to achieve.
Sure.
Yes.
So a couple of comments before we come back. I would like you to, when you come back, to talk to just your clients out here. Watakupata wapi, wakitaka nini, umesema online wapi, wakupatie kazi. But before we do that, a few people online. Dominic Maina, thank you so much for saying you're tuned in. He says this show is impressive and we are humbled.
Thank you.
There's a friend of yours, he's called Jairus Olmasai. He says, keep grinding, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Asante sana. Keep up the good work. Shesia luta sana. Huyu ni a lady friend of ours. And then there is a Peter Isusa who says Msalimie Luta really missed him since 2011 Lunza High School. The friend of yours called Peter Isusa, you were with him in school in 2011. Asante sana. There is a friend of a friend who's Richard Mokole says watching. Peter Isusa is asking a question. Yes. But Luta, why omitting the name Lunza? Huyu anaanza aje umama? Mwambie you are proud ulienda pale. Lunza has produced very serious engineers. Because I know a few guys when you wameenda pale and today they're engineers. Wewe and a few others. It's a good school.
Lunza, maybe I'll speak in mother tongue.
Umeona unataka kuconfirmie Peter Yesu sasa utaki mchezo.
Exactly.
Sema na yeye.
Lunza ni school indai. You have produced very good engineers. I think all the top scorers in Lunza are all engineers. Whole class ya 206.
So from 206 all the top guys kwa KCC wamekonga tuma engineers. Mtatuua bwana.
Mike Mkolwe ya Hola Mechanical.
Yes, I know Mike.
University of Nairobi. Nolenga Erastus.
Erastus, yes.
Ni electrical engineer, University of Nairobi.
Mtatumaliza bwana.
Nolenga Steve Sokomi, Kea. Yes, ni engineer from Jomo Kenyatta University. Nolenga Omar Ruben.
Yes, Omar Ruben.
Ya Hola Engineer Technical University ya. SMN, JK what?
Mfaulanga mriye bwana. How are you succeeding this thing? You see, when I grow up, I want to be also become an engineer like you guys.
I think environment in Lunza was very important, and it gave you the motivation.
So these fallacious thinking that nimeenda shule day school ni nini tuachane nayo.
No.
You can succeed from anywhere.
You see, at the end of the day, you are an individual person. You may not have the target that this is Lunza Secondary.
Yes. And even now, of course, when you went to campus, you met guys from now these national schools.
Exactly.
Na mulipambana tu.
It is a clear surface. So all of you are starting from a data point, and that is 0. Yeah. So you are all at day 1 on admission.
Yes.
So are you setting
with the results slip ambayo the name ya shule doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
So if you got an A in physics, that is your A. So be it in Kenya High,
Or
be it in
Lunza,
Starehe,
whatever.
or Lunza, or Romanga,
It
or
doesn't
wherever.
matter.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
That one, that A is not even important. Your result step.
Uh-huh.
You are now starting the other life. Yeah.
There's a lady here, just to tell you that now you're changing lives. A lady friend who says that my son already told me he wants to be an engineer. So people want to become you.
Maybe.
Sudi chukue basi sasa waanze kunisponsor hata maisha. Sasa kama wewe umeanza sasa mimi nimekuwa kwa issue kwa muda mrefu, nobody wants to be me.
No, one important thing is to become an engineer. Yeah. The son will be an engineer, but now which part of engineering?
So engineering, it's very wide.
Very wide. So the son may be interested to do biomedical engineering, for example, mechanical like myself, or become a civil like myself. Yeah. So when we're discussing about the engineering aspect, yeah, he can maybe get me at Inzofu Maher Engineering Limited, and then we discuss the nitty-gritty.
Yeah, so what I would do,
Yes.
I would find a way of connecting you to this lady.
Sure.
Mtoto wake akuone, mkutane uso kwa uso. Then there is one long comment here from a friend. He says, you are actually right. You can't just sit there and wait for the government to employ you. Government, with my knowledge and experience, frustrates youth. I do a lot just after I abandoned the idea of waiting for the government to employ me. Nowadays, I create jobs, I educate young people to stop pursuing imaginary courses, but TVET courses. At the moment, a plumber is much better than a pilot. Actually, pilot is just a driver anyway. So this guy, he's called Elfa Somuna and Kisienya. He says that the thinking that to get government to provide jobs, it's dangerous. Waso get up nje wa hustle.
Yeah. Something I always say is that you don't need to negate somebody in his capacity in order to qualify yourself.
Sure.
Yeah. As an engineer, I cannot discredit somebody from environment.
Yeah, you can't.
And somebody from medicine, for example.
You can't.
Yeah. Every course is important.
Kila kitu ni fiti.
Yeah. Maybe just because you've not traveled that path, you want to discredit what others have done. What I'll say is that it is good to make comments, but you don't need to discredit others. Yeah. In your own capacity, just tell the world what you can do. Yeah. As an engineer, I'm a mechanical engineer, and also I'm a civil engineer. Yeah. This is what I can deliver.
Even in the bigger, but if other people are finding other spaces ziko interesting for them, wacha wapige.
We'll let them do.
Oh, okay.
Because at the end of the day, we are an ecosystem. Yeah. I'll need that doctor when I visit the hospital.
Sure.
I'll need that plumber when I need some water services. Yeah.
You need a kinyozi man.
Yeah. When I want to do my hair. Yeah. So at the end of the day, somebody can do something in the society. Yeah. And myself as an engineer, I cannot take care of his needs. Yeah. So what I'll say is that everybody can plays a very important part in the society. Even the cook in the universities, they provide us with meals. Yeah. And so at the end of the day, I think whatever a role somebody plays,
apige.
Yeah.
So one last comment. Timothy Amboka says that Stephen Kea Sokomi was my classmate. So on Stephen Kea hapa uko na your former classmate anaitwa Timothy, anasema mkutane pale nyuma ya tent mzungumze ni nini mlifanya mkiwa kule. Now my bro.
Yes.
Looking into this camera. Kuna watu ningependa wakupatie kazi because you are already doing an amazing work out here. Wakupate wapi? Umesema your company inaitwa sijui Mahera ama hata sijaelewa, nimeogopa hata kuuliza kwa sababu kupronounce unajua where I come from sometimes. I don't want to bite my tongue. So look into this camera, the name of your company,
yes,
and how can people get you, na services gani una offer so that mtu akiona amepick interest, ni simu anapiga, ni Instagram, ni YouTube, ni wapi anaenda ndio akupate.
Yeah, starting with myself, my name is Lawrence Luta Inzofu. I'm the founder and CEO of Inzofu Maher Engineering Limited. It is a construction company dealing with all sorts of services, starting from the prior jobs to the work. So we start with getting the consultant services on all building and construction services. Then after that we go to the site. we do now the implementation of what we discussed before that. After that, we also do the post-construction services, and now those are the repair works. So when we're looking at the whole package, we give you what you summarily need in all the construction services. So our team runs from qualified engineers by training and practice. We also have now the artisans who are very specialized in every skill. We have the plumbers, we have the masons, we have the electricians, we have the paint people, we have the carpenters. So when we're starting the house from the foundation, at the end of the day, what we'll give you is the key. Yeah. So we do everything, and it is not like one person is crowded to a job. Somebody does what he is specialized in.
I get
so
you.
The quality is what we achieve at the end of the day. So the summary of the services is that we do all the building and construction services, and at the end of the day, we also supply the construction materials.
Also, you can supply them.
Yeah, we have a hardware here. We also source from the quarries and from the mining sites. Yeah. We also get you the quality materials from those manufacturing industries. Yeah. So when you choose to invest with us, we do everything for you. So
great.
Our discussion with you is at this level. Are you satisfied?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because from the initial discussions, maybe you may have changed your mind along the way. So at the end of the day, our client, we want to deliver something that is satisfactory.
Sure.
So we discuss with you, we work with you along the journey. At the end of the day, we give you a finished product.
Okay.
Satisfactory to you. And even when other people, you can always discuss about it. Yeah.
How do people get you?
I'm always online, and my phone number is +254 706 592 180 +254 733 592 180. The emails are always there. lawrenceinzofu@gmail.com. The same names for the page are Inzofu Maher Engineering Limited. The same is for Instagram. The YouTube is active also. It goes by the same name, Inzofu Maher Engineering Limited.
So mtu akitaka kukupatia kazi, akitaka kuwa na any inquiries, afike pale, aulize, aseme vile anataka, wewe ucheze kama wewe.
Yeah. So we develop in Nairobi, Kampala, and also in Addis.
If somebody wanted you to do some work in Lamu,
that is an easy thing to do. Lamu is just maybe, if it is by flight, maybe 40 minutes. Yeah, Nairobi, Lamu. We now have a field, an airport in Lamu.
Yeah, sure. So uko flexible, uko tayari kwenda places uchape job.
Exactly.
Thank you, bro. I think I've done many interviews, but your story is so inspiring because pale maluma umanzia shule, vile story yako imekuja until today. I'm speaking to a cocktail of a mechanical and a civil engineer.
Exactly.
This is great, and thank you so much, my brother, for finding time, sitting with me and sharing your story with the world.
Yeah,
nashukuru sana bro, nashukuru sana. Na mimi nakwambia mema bwana. Sijapata pesa kujenga, nikipata ninakuita. Nakupea pesa uniletee ki.
Twende to clear sites kwanza.
Oh, twende tucheke kwanza. Okay, as we close, so guys, this has been inawezekana, and actually looking at his story, it is true ya kwamba inawezekana. This guy goes to a village day school, anapambana pale, and he says you can succeed from anywhere because he goes to a village school and he manages to get a grade ambayo inamwenable to join a public university. He does his dream course, mechanical engineering, anakuja Teketeke, anapiga ingine juu civil engineering, and then he starts his own construction company. Leo he says he's making some money. Sijasema mwende mtafute muombe pesa, but he says he's making some money. And the guy is young. So as a young person out here, kuna chance ya kujipanga. Ile idea ambayo uko nayo, hit the road running. Start with the resources you have. Uko na simu, uko na tablet, uko na nini, anzia pale. The other things will come along the way. Umepata chance, umeenda kusoma ile shule, uko high school, unalia mimi sikwenda Land, sikwenda St. Peter, sikwenda these big schools. Within ile school ambayo umepata chance kwenda, soma, you can succeed from anywhere. And then the thing ambayo tumediscuss kwa issue ni kwamba there are many things you can choose to do, but you can also choose to be idle. So if you choose to be idle, all the best. Until next Sunday, same time, tukutane na kumbuka ya kwamba our YouTube channel is Teketeke Nation Live. Ingia pale and subscribe. Please, to support what you're doing, go to YouTube channel Teketeke Nation Live and subscribe. Alafu kumbuke ana supply materials pia za kujenga, ako na hardware na anajenga. Mpigie simu, mpatie kazi, akujengee, akupatie kifungu. Thank you so much and God bless you so much. Nashukuru.
Asante sana.
Sasa